Think about this. A stuffed animal was going to be people's retirement fund. Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Middle-Aged Millennial MILF Podcast, also known as MAM Podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Strickland, coming to you alone today because instead of a guest, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, which was the 90s. All millennials love to talk about the 90s. I'm sorry. It was the fucking best time to grow up. Like, we didn't know how good we had it until we had it like now. So let's just talk about what was awesome about that decade. Let's start music. That's when I feel like rap really started to become big, and even a little white girl like me could get into it because I remember I had my dad buy me the Salt and Pepper tape in the second grade. And bless his heart, anything I asked my dad for when he was on the road, he did buy me. So thank you so much, Dad. That was very nice of you. So he brought home this tape and I'm listening to it. My mom's like, what the fuck did you get her? And he's like, it's what she wanted. Like, that was their parenting. Like, it's what she wanted. I got it for her. Shut up. But my friend Shauna Stegman and I would pole dance in her basement to the Salt and Pepper grind. Like, I still know all the words to Shoop. Like, fucking Ellen had to wreck it for me. She'd always sing that on her show, and now she's a toxic asshole. So thanks for that, Ellen. I also really loved Ace of Base. And I feel like Ace of Base could have been our ABBA. They had some great hits, and I think they kind of were the 90s answer to ABBA. But I mean, The Sign, Don't Turn Around, Wheel of Fortune. I went through 2 Ace of Base tapes. That's how the media was back then. I ran through 2 tapes, and then I probably bought the CD, and I know that I bought it on iTunes. So Ace of Base has gotten a lot of money for me because that shit claps. I also really love the one-hit wonders of the 90s. I feel like we had some really great ones. The offset of that was if you bought the whole album and they were a one-hit wonder and you didn't like anything else, it fucking sucked. Case in point, Fastball. I loved The Way. Loved the video, thought the bassist was cute. Great song. It's a great song. I bought that fucking album and I hated it. I don't even think I ended up listening to The Way anymore because I was just so over fucking this shitty CD. Like, Fastball, I kind of want my $14.99 back. God, I wonder how much CDs would be now if you bought them. Think about that. They were like, what, $12.99, $14.99? Would they be like $40 now? Like, I don't know. Things are fucking crazy. I also, like, one hit wonder Len, Steal My Sunshine. I really liked how hopeful things were. This was kind of the end of the 90s, guys, but things were like, it was called Sunshine Rock, and it was like hopeful. And they're like, Y2K, oh my God, I'll still be here. And like, little did we know, like, oh, we should have stayed in the 90s. But still, let's be positive. Steal My Sunshine. Love that. New Radicals. Get What You Give. Great song. I think I really love that because they have the line, age 14, you've got us down on our knees. And the year it came out, I was 14. So I was like, oh my God, this is about me. Because everything has to be about me. Sorry, guys. That's just how I feel. Breakfast at Tiffany's. I actually have a very funny story about Breakfast at Tiffany's. I was dating this guy, Jimbo, which you know was a mistake. His name was Jimbo. But we're in the car and that Map song by the IAS comes on, you know, Wait, They Don't Love You Like I Love You. And he's like, oh, I think this is the Breakfast at Tiffany's of our generation. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, listen to Breakfast at Tiffany's. Listen to fucking Maps. No similarities. Like, did he hear it? Because here's the other deal about Jimbo, is we were hanging out and he made a joke and it was a Dane Cook joke. Little did he know I loved male comedians. They were my favorite. So I knew this joke. So I said, it was better when Dane Cook did it. And he's like, I can't believe you knew that. Oh, you're so cool. Like, so did you fucking hear someone else say this Breakfast at Tiffany's thing? And you were like, that is so good. That is gold. I'm going to say that on a date to get a blowjob. I think he probably got one regardless, but I didn't stay with him long after that. It's just really, really embarrassing. All right. I was not into boy bands because I was into grunge and I thought I was so fucking cool. I didn't appreciate the beauty of a Britney Spears or a Christina Aguilera or NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Now I can listen to it and appreciate it because of the nostalgia. But back then I was just like, I'm too cool for this. But I'm not too cool for you, Britney. I would interview you in a heartbeat. I love you, Britney Spears. Free Britney. Come on. You need a good friend, I think is what you need, Britney. Like, think poor Britney. Like, these poor stars, Lindsay Lohan, like, their fucking parents fucked them up, forced them into it. Like, they fucking put her in a mental institution. I'm sure most of us women, if they would put in a mental institution, like, we all act pretty similar. Like, fucking K-Fed, like, poor Britney. And she dated Justin Timberlake, which I think I found him attractive when he was in NSYNC, and now he's just an insufferable tool. Jessica Biel, you could do better, but you have 2 kids with him. I get it. Just stay with him. You do you, girl. But despite being not a boy band kind of a gal, I actually liked the Monkees because I was so cool and into older stuff. I thought I was like too good for that. I got invited by friends and saw both NSYNC and Backstreet Boys in concert. This girl, I think her name was Michelle, I'm sorry, wanted me to go to NSYNC with her, and my friend Trisha, who I'm no longer friends with, she took me to Backstreet Boys because she loved Backstreet Boys. Because I am the type of friend, guys, you want to do something and you need somebody to go with you, I'll go. I love experiencing life. I've gone to so many concerts where I didn't know them. Like, Drew takes me all the time. Like, as you're going to hear on my Tony Tripoli episode, like, always say yes. So I did see them in concert, and that was pretty cool. And here's like the other thing about the 90s. And maybe it's the same now, and I just don't know because I'm not into pop culture anymore. But I feel like Madonna and Michael Jackson, like we had, okay, Taylor Swift. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole. Taylor Swift. We have that. But like, do you remember like Madonna? Like, she had these different, like, she was an actress, and then she was like kind of like in the Kabbalah. Like, she just had all that sex. Like, I liked when she was like dirty and she had that sexy book that she released. I was like, oh, so naughty. I feel like, okay, I'm gonna take a controversial take here. I feel like Madonna does not get the credit that she deserves. I feel like Madonna was fucking phenomenal, and she was a once in an earth time type star. Like Taylor Swift, I'm not taking that away from Taylor Swift. I'm not taking that away from Beyonce. But Madonna, like, she was fucking doing it. Like, she had those tours, the dancing, like, I just love me some Madonna. There was at least a few good songs every album. Like, Madonna, let's do this. You need the credit you deserve, girl. Also, Michael Jackson. I'm going to go on the record. I don't know what happened. I was not anywhere near Neverland Ranch. I don't know if he did the allegations or not. But the bottom line is, as a 90s kid, Michael Jackson was such a part of our childhood. Like the black and white video, like the videos premiered on prime time music videos. The whole fucking world was watching. Like, it just seems like a shame for someone's legacy like that to be, or he's dead. There's no, he's set against the corpse now. And he has kids. Like, Paris Jackson, you're beautiful. And I would love to have you on here to talk about your dad because I'm a big fan. But yeah, how I talked about I wasn't into boy bands. I was, like I said, into grunge and like mainstream pop, you know, like the radio. I feel like we all listened to the radio back then. You know, now we're listening to our iPods. We're listening to music that way. We have satellite radio. But this was regional. Like, we all fucking listened to the radio. Like, we called in and won. I guess people still do this, but I don't. People call, like, I won so many concert tickets calling in and winning from a radio station. I remember when I was little, my dad, okay, Dad, you had some good moments, you fucking bastard. I love you. But he had me read the weather on he loved some radio stations. So I always kind of had a special radio, you know, there's something to it. I really appreciate it. I much prefer satellite radio now. unless it's fucking Tom Morello. No offense, man. It's a fucking worst on lithium. Like every time you fucking, it's like, oh great, what fucking niche shit are we gonna like? I turn on lithium to hear the fucking classics, not your niche shit. I get it. You're super cool. You have all these friends, Tom Morello. Like, no, I fucking play the hits and let's go. I guess my introduction to grunge was Courtney Love and Hole because I would stay home and I'd watch a lot of MTV. And I remember the Celebrity Skin video and it changed my life. And then I got into like Riot Girls and like all the bands she talked about, like Bikini Kill, Veruca Salt, love me some Veruca Salt, PJ Harvey. I was too cool for school. Like, fuck you. Like I said, Christina and Britney. I was badass. And I also like got on my high horse. Like I listened to some 60s and 70s. So I think I was like, I'm so cultured. Like I listen to all this stuff. Like, do kids nowadays listen to the 60s? Like if you do the math, 90s, 30 years before is the 60s. 30 years ago was the 90s. So is that like, that's their equivalent? Like they're not going past that to the 60s? I'm very interested. If anyone has the answer, please let me know. But grunge, I mean, my God, grunge, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, like that was rock. And it was so real and raw. And it came, the 80s was so fake. Like I thought the 80s were bullshit because I was a 90s kid. I'm like, oh, yuck. Now I appreciate the 80s because I'm old as fuck and I don't want to be cognizant of 2024 at all. I just want to pretend it's 1984 and everything's going to be okay. I'm going to drink some new Coke and live my best life. We just don't really have rock music like that anymore. Like that's why it's so hard to find. Everything is so polished and manufactured and on a computer and for hits and viral and Imagine Dragons like that. Foo Fighters. Oh, Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl. So cute. Loved your music. Made a bad choice. My man, you're in your 50s. You're having a baby. Like you're shooting live loads in there, my man. Like, come on. I understand. I think here, I'm going to give my take on Dave Grohl. I think that Taylor Hawkins and his mother dying really fucked him up. Maybe he did try. I don't know. I wasn't there for that. But I'm going to hope that's why his wife forgave him. And it was like, you were fucking out of your mind. She didn't. Now you have to raise this child for the rest of your life. But I'll forgive you. Maybe there's a prenup. I don't know. I probably wouldn't leave Drew. I'm not giving you permission, Drew Dionne Strickland, but we're never getting divorced. So yeah, back to grunge and fucking Dave Grohl. Like, how cool is that? Like, talk about rock. Like, you were in Nirvana and fucking Foo Fighters. You were so cool. Like, Dave Grohl, like, is he going to be the last rock star? I hope he lives forever. I would really love that, Dave Grohl, if you were immortal. But even though I was like a Riot Girl and like Hole and Bikini Kill, I still really enjoyed the Spice Girls because what little girl at that point didn't? We all picked the Spice Girl that we were. And I was fucking Ginger Spice because I fucking dyed my hair red in the 8th grade and I thought I was hot shit. I also spoke in a British accent for like a week. Like I got this British flag t-shirt and I found a cane in the middle of the road, which is still really weird. I walked down that road recently. Why was there a cane? But I started doing this with British accent and it always had to start with Mrs. Doubtfire. The hello, I'm British. Like it's not any good. It wasn't good then. It's not good now. My Southern is much better. But I remember being obsessed with like everything UK. Like remember the Friends went and visited UK. Like the flag's really popular. The big hats. Like, oh, it was such a good time to be alive. I miss the 90s music. Like I feel like you can put that on and it just, people love it. We all sing along. Makes everybody happy. Anyway, on to 90s TV. Some of my favorite topics. Because otherwise I'm going to bounce all over the place, guys. I'm sorry. I made little notes. Like I'm trying to keep it all together. So I'm not totally rambling and all over the place, but it make it there. HBO specials. Do you guys... We had HBO, because like I said, even though we were white trash. And I'm going to talk about being white trash all the time because it apparently really fucking gets to my mom. Like, whatever. I rose above. I don't know. She's still white trash. But even though we were white trash, we had HBO. And we'd watch, like, these specials. And I remember there was one, and it was about this kid that had AIDS, and like his friends wanted him to like do blood brothers. And he's like, I can't. Like, and the school was gonna find out. And I should look up. I wonder if that kid's alive or dead. AIDS was a big thing in the 90s. Like, they don't talk about it anymore unless it's those commercials about medication that makes it like go away. And it's always really low key, like really almost racist. It's like gay people, Black people. Sometimes they'll throw in a token straight couple, but no, they really kind of racist. I'm sure that makes me sound woke, but I am woke, so fuck off. But yeah, AIDS was like condoms and safe sex and like TLC wearing condoms to the award show and like they did the milk mustache ads and they did like AIDS. Like that was a big spokesperson thing back then. And it was just so weird because like I said, it kind of goes away. But I will say we were big American Horror Story fans. This is not a 90s thing, but we had to stop watching after American Horror Story New York. While I love the show and I understood what they were trying to do, when the big bad killer of American Horror Story is AIDS, it's not that show. Beautiful. I understand. It was awful, discriminatory, all that. But like when I watch American Horror Story, I want American Horror Story, not truth. Because even at least like when you did the Trump season, the politics one, like at least that was like had some horror elements. This was at the end, it was really like AIDS. And spoiler alert, like this husband had given it to the wife or something and she like died in the shower. They made it seem like AIDS was like a killer. Ryan Murphy, like you do so well. Like we loved Nip Tuck in the beginning and then we could say you nip tucked it because then it gets really shitty and then you come in for like the last season or the last episode and like kind of get it back. Like you did that with Nip Tuck. I heard you did that with Glee. I didn't fucking watch that because I didn't watch that. I enjoy his takes on history, like how he did the OJ and Monica Lewinsky, and like that stuff's really interesting to me because I feel like as kids we kind of saw it through a different lens and we saw it through a very pointed view because we had like what 3 television show in stations, you know, like it was not the wide disperse of information that we have now. Okay, and here's the deal. I loved Friends. We all loved Friends when it was on. I had 2 posters in my room. I had a shirt, like Ross and Rachel for life, like Chandler, loved Friends. But it's just so fucking everybody loves Friends now. And it's like, oh, I may watch it. And like kids that are so young. And it's just like, it's fine. I feel like it's in every fucking doctor's office now. And I'm just like, yeah, laugh tracks. Like, but it was really like a big deal. Like we all fucking watched it. You like the water cooler. Like they don't do water coolers anymore. We're all streaming shit. But this was you waited Thursday. And if you fucking missed it, you better hope there was a rerun during the summer, else you weren't going to see it. Like it was so wild that everything is at our fingertips now. Like your phone, I need to get this information. I need to order something at Amazon. It's here in 2 days. But back then, everything was so slow. We don't have those moments anymore. I mean, you talk about like, oh, did you watch Severance? Did you stream? But it isn't the same as waiting, the anticipation. Like, does anybody watch TV like that anymore? Like, I don't. We normally binge it. And the worst is when we watch something and we catch up and we're like, now we have to wait week to week. Ugh. Like it was back in the day. There was something really nice about having a house phone and not always being accessible. You know, I feel like now we're so like, we get a text message, we have to respond right away and all that. But back then you kind of think of things. We had pen pals, like pagers, house phones, telegraphs. Like, I don't know. It was a crazy time. Let's talk about Seinfeld. All right. Seinfeld was like fucking huge. And I don't know. Maybe it was just my parents, but we watched not TGIF, Must See TV Thursdays. It was like fucking Caroline in the City, Friends, Single Guy, and like fucking ER. It was must see. It was huge. Must see TV. I should probably remember it better, but I don't. Seinfeld, though, was like this cultural, like, I feel like there's this niche, as especially millennials, like, if you're like, no soup for you, or like the Elaine dance, or the bet, or anything. I totally did not know what the bet episode of Seinfeld was about. Like, I think that I kind of was like understanding, or I thought I did, but I don't know that I understood like masturbation at that point. I was a little too young. And then, like, believe it or not, George isn't at home. Like, there were just it. Seinfeld was so huge, and that it was. I feel like it was such a range. Like, kids were watching it. Like, I feel like now everything's a little more niche too, where like we're not watching the same shows that my son is watching. Like my 15-year-old, he's watched other stuff that I haven't. But I feel like then it was like this one time where you all fucking went in that living room and you sat around that TV and you watched it and you all laughed at the same thing. And maybe that's why the kids feel so lonely and stuff now, is that how many people are doing that anymore? Like, sit around, as a family, experience, get each other's takes on it. Like, that's really important. So I'm missing out on that. I loved me some 90s SNL, from like early 90s, Adam Sandler, David Spade, Chris Farley, Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, to like the Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry, Jimmy Fallon. Oh, don't get me started on Jimmy Fallon. When I saw him on Saturday Night Live, I was like, that is the man I want to marry. Like, he was, I love a funny guy, which it's kind of funny. Like, Drew makes me laugh, but I don't think people think of him as like a funny guy. But I like loved that. So attractive. And I was obsessed. I would watch Saturday Night Live with him, and he sang his little songs like Adam Sandler. And I had a crush on Adam Sandler back. Like, be still my heart. Even in high school, like, I would take like using this shitty movie Taxi. No offense, Jimmy, it was shitty. But there was like him and Queen Latifah, and I like cut my face out because he's holding Queen Latifah. So it looked like he was holding me. Like, I wish I kept that, because I would love to show him that someday and have him being like, ooh, yeah, you're banned. I actually did meet him and he was lovely, but like, I was married and he's married. Here's the deal, ladies. Nothing is less sexy than someone else's man to me. Like, I don't get that. I'm not like, ooh, like, I don't want to be the other woman. Like, that just to me is not sexy. I was never that girl. So once he got married, it was like, no more Jimmy Fallon. But the SNL movies, even like, I love some of them are not great, but, and I think maybe there's the affinity because my family would watch it. That's when we felt like a family, and we'd all laugh and things were good and dad wasn't mad and mom wasn't lying. And it was just, and actually Deborah Vance talked about that on Hacks, where she's like, when we were watching the Tonight Show, that was the time when we all got along. So that's, I think, why those 90s SNL movies and that stuff really hit home with me, because that was something that meant joy and meant happiness in the house. 90s MTV, Real World, Road Rules. I had convinced myself that I was cool enough that if they just met me, they would put me on Road Rules or Real World at the age of like 14. I was not cool enough. Not whatsoever. I don't know what, I love the Tenacity Girl, but no, I didn't have it. And it was, I remember my dad came home from a business trip and told us about it. So we were watching it from like the jump. And then by the time I was like out on my own, I was like, I don't want to watch people my age doing shit. And I wouldn't want anybody, like, I had a secret life. I didn't want anybody to know because I'd get in trouble with my mom. So why would I want that on TV then? So I never tried out for that stuff. I bet I could have gotten on too. People are always like, oh, you should have reality. I should have fucking tried out. Oh, well, held myself back. But I love 90s MTV summer too. You watch like the Summer Clubhouse or Summer House and the TV shows. The music videos they still played. They had a VH1 Behind the Music, not MTV, but VH1 Behind the Music. Always like Fleetwood Mac, and I loved it. Like, I felt like such an insider. And pop-up video, I learned so many cool facts. I think I still use a lot of those facts to this day for pop-up video. Like, that was good knowledge. That was, in the summer, I was learning shit. Beverly Hills 90210. The OG. I love me some remake. We've talked about those. Carolina Liar, Chad Wolf, love you. Beverly Hills 90210 was huge. Like, think about what they were the only show that did like a summer season. Like, that was a great fucking show. I had the Barbie dolls. I had Donna, and I also had Brenda, because I didn't like Jenny Garth. I thought she stole Dylan from Brenda. And I think I also didn't like her because she was like blonde and I was kind of a brunette. So I kind of wanted them to be like me. And I was just like, oh yeah. But it was so huge. Like, so much that they did a remake, or, and I just thought that was so cool. And that to me was like, I cannot wait until I'm a teenager. I want to make out with somebody to Sophie B. Hawkins as I lay me down, or damn, I wish I was your lover. Like, that was prime little, like, ooh, Sarah sexy. Like, oh, I want to do that. I want to like make out with somebody in front of a fucking fireplace. So, damn, I wish you was your lover. Goals. Lifetime movies. Love Lifetime movies. Love them. I mean, no one would tell. I've covered these a lot. I won't, but let's just love Lifetime movies. I reached out to Richard Grieco because he was in one with Yasmin Bleeth that I love. And I met him one time, but he hasn't responded. So, come on, man. Talking about 90210, Melrose Place, the wig reveal. Like, come on. It was a pretty savvy spinoff. The way it's like, oh, Kelly likes this carpenter, and oh, just kidding, I'm too young for you. But now I'm going to have a show in Melrose Place. Like, that was like Tawdry's soap opera at night kind of thing. Like, they just don't, I guess they do it now. It's just all streaming. Sailor Moon. I got really into Sailor Moon, had like a Sailor Moon doll. I remember when it came out, like, I don't know why. And it was cool. I was like, oh, girl, superheroes. Like, woohoo. Tales from the Crypt. I couldn't watch the opening. It scared the shit out of me, and then it like popped out. But I don't know. I mean, I guess we have Black Mirror now. It was something different, but there was just really something to like late night watching it, feeling like you shouldn't, like being scared, and like Tales from the Crypt movie and all that. Softcore porn. They don't do that. Like, there's no softcore. Remember Skinamax? They call it Cinemax Skinamax, and like garble, like it was like humping belly buttons, and it was always like this story. Like, people just look at porn now, right? Like, we have the internet. We should bring back softcore porn for like the Mormons, or these incels. Like, ease into it, fellas. Little softcore. You can handle that. Roseanne. So I touched on, my mom hates that I call her white trash, but we did. If you're the sitcom growing up that was most like My Family was Roseanne. We didn't have a ton of money. Like, we were probably a little more well off. My dad was a little more white collar than blue collar. And then she's like, Roseanne turning out to be a piece of shit was so fucking disappointing. She's just like my real mom. Like, TV mom, you suck. Like, if I had to pick TV parents for something, I would pick fucking Tim Allen and Roseanne, because they are the closest to my actual parents. And I think that it would be really funny and appropriate, because 90s kids, we all were raised on TV. So, boom. Look how smart I am. And I think I tried to watch the Roseanne remake, and I just, everything's coming back. Some things just end. The nostalgia, I'm just really over it. Like, fucking Full House. Okay. My mom didn't want me to watch Full House because she said the Beach Boys were on it too much. I don't know. I think she just didn't enjoy it. So I watched some. Candace Cameron Bure, I don't know how you fucking say her name. She's an insufferable twat. Like, Candace, you fucking suck. And I wish you would just go away with your religious bullshit and your Christian nationalist bullshit. You and your fucking brother, Kirk Cameron. Ugh. Let's talk about fun things. Like, how the fuck is South Park still on? I mean, I guess are the Simpsons on? Shit, that's going to date me. I think they're. But I know South Park is for sure, because Walker's friend loves South Park. And I'm like, I had a shirt in the 7th grade. Like, this has been around forever. I hope they do it forever. Like, guys, that's impressive. And I still cannot watch a montage without hearing Team America. God, I have a montage. Like, cultural, like, this is cultural touchstones. Fish sticks, like, South Park. You do you. Okay, we kind of started to touch on this, like pop culture. It was really amazing back in the 90s because I feel like we all experienced, like I said, there was like three network, like think about the OJ chase. Like so many people watched that. We all experienced the same. We all were reading the same tabloids. We were watching the same news. They announced it at school. Like that is crazy. They announced a murder verdict in elementary school. They were like, and I remember like we were pissed we thought he did. Well, he did do it. He fucking wrote a book, but like we were pissed and it felt very like racially charged and we were in a very white area, so that wasn't an issue. But I feel like most white people thought he was guilty. He was guilty for the record, but that was another show that really showed that OJ, I was like, they had so much evidence. He got off with that OJ killer charm. I guess that was like when the most pizzas were delivered or something. Like the OJ, everyone's like, no, I can't make dinner. I need to watch this slow ass Bronco go down this. And like, what was he thinking? What did he think was going to happen at the end? Like, what the fuck, man? OJ, do better. Same with like Columbine. Like, I know there were school shootings before. I'm not like, oh, it was the first. Like, I know I've read books, but I mean, they still say pull a Columbine. Like, that was the ultimate. But the craziest thing, though, I feel like it's back to that optimism of back then was that, like, oh, that was an anomaly. That's not going to happen every day. Like, that happened. I was in the 8th grade and I remember we were freaked out because a boy had like gotten suspended the day before. So the next day we're so nice to him. We're like, Mike, how you doing? Oh, we love you, Mike. You know, you're our friend. Like, don't bring it on to school and shoot us. But through high school, we didn't do active shooter drills. Like, it just wasn't an issue for us. So it breaks my heart that it's I mean, don't get me started on gun control. I'll talk all day about how much I fucking hate guns. But so the 90s was so optimistic. And if you think about like 90s movies and how optimistic they were and stuff, and you used to be able to go up to the plane like you can see in movies. You could meet someone at the gate. Like I remember shortly before, like maybe a week, 2 weeks before 9/11, my mom went on a trip and we went and met her at the gate when she came home. And like that was the last time. Like now that would be insane. Nobody does that. But there was like this optimism, like everything's okay, you know? And now I feel like that really got like crushed in the early 2000s. And now it's just fucking abysmal. But I mean, back then it was like our biggest problem was that the president got a blowjob from an intern and basically got caught. Like we know that was happening all through history. That motherfucker just got caught. And that was our biggest problem. Like I'm not gonna talk about what's going on right now politically, but like I wish our biggest problem was the president was getting a blowjob. Like can we go back to those days? Like we had to watch a trial. Like that was insane. And the fact that he was going to get impeached over that when there's literal abuses happening and there's no like Bill Clinton, you got a raw deal. So did you, Hillary. I wasn't a Hillary fan. But fuck, girl. Yeah, you got fucked. Chloe's, and she kept the semen dress. Like, doesn't that seem weird, ladies? Like, if you've ever gotten some on your outfit, you know, we've all had mishaps. The thought never crossed my mind. Like, why? How did Linda Tripp be like, just leave the cum on the dress? Like, I genuinely do not understand how any of this happened. Like, you fucking dry clean it, you wash it. Like, were you like cuddling to it? Like, you missed him at night, Monica? Like, I love you, Monica, and you definitely got a raw fucking deal, girl. Like, poor Monica Lewinsky. Can you imagine being that age? Like, that could have been any of us too. That's the president. Not that he was attractive, but I mean, he was better than, you know. We've all made dumb mistakes. Like I said, somebody else's man is not normally my type, but the president was bothering me, not, but like a Bill Clinton or preferably an Obama, like there's a better chance. You don't say no, don't say no to anything, ladies. Like, but poor thing. I'm glad she's having a comeback and her podcast is much, much more successful than mine. So you do you, girl. So proud of you. Oklahoma City really kind of fucked me up. I'm going to be honest. Like, I remember watching it at a babysitter's and like seeing the kids and like just that level of destruction. And to this day, like there was a box truck that was parking in our neighborhood on the rocks, kind of by a building. And I was reporting that shit like nobody's business. I was like, see something, say something. See something, say something. I am not Oklahoma Citying this neighborhood, whatever. I don't trust a box truck. Fucking Timothy McVeigh. How much explosives was in it to take that building down? Like, I don't know a lot about explosives, but like, Jesus Christ. Back to the optimism of the time. Like, also, like, we all watched the Olympics. I guess people still do watch the Olympics, but like, I had Olympic Barbie. I think she was a baton twirler because my mom twirled batons. So I was trying to make her happy, and she was a brunette. And I remember I got that before like a car trip. My dad's like, you can get something for the car. And I got a Barbie, and I was too old. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, that's not fun. Stupid. I like to dress them up. I didn't really role play with them. But I had a nano pet. Remember nano pets? I had a baby, and I remember it was so old, and a dickhead at school reset it. It never got that old again. You fucking dickhead. Tickle Me Elmo, Power Rangers. I remember my brother was so into Power Rangers, and my mom, like, she loves to tell the story, so I'll tell it for you, Rose. She he wanted this white Tiger Zord. So she found this like little toy shop that had it, and it was so like black market. It spoke Japanese. It didn't even speak English, and she was so fucking happy. Like, and I guess they had Cabbage Patch dolls in the 80s, but like Beanie Babies. People thought Beanie Babies were their ticket to millions. Think about this. A fucking doll, stuffed animal with beans in it was going to be people's retirement fund. Like, I think we all had the mania. Like, I remember I went to a Cracker Barrel and got a Beanie Baby, and I fucking loved it. Like, people were separating them in divorces. Like, it was just insane. I don't know why any of us thought like, yeah, that's going to make us money. We're a little naive in the 90s, I guess. Saxophones too. Do you remember how big saxophones were in the 90s? Like, I don't feel like we have enough saxophones now. I feel like Bill Clinton was playing the saxophone, and like Lisa played it on The Simpsons. Like, I thought a saxophone was hot. I really did. I remember James Cabeaton played the saxophone in elementary school, and I thought that was really fucking hot. We need more saxophones. I also miss, Trump was a loser in the 90s. Like, do you remember the First Wives Club? Like, Ivanka was on there, and like, it was clearly like he was the worst of the worst ex-husbands. Like, she was the best First Wives. I miss that. I miss when people thought he was a loser. You fuckers at Apprentice, you tricked people. He was a loser. But I miss Trump being a loser in the 90s too. That was a really great time. Can we go back there? But I do feel like serial killers were, like, I know that now we have like miniseries and stuff, but it seemed like there were like more active serial killers then. Maybe there are now too, and I just don't know about it. But I remember we were driving to a vacation. My dad's like, that's where Dahmer got murdered. Like, it was like fresh news, and they weren't all put to death. So what were they like? Why aren't there serial killers now that we all know about? There are some people that could be taken out, like a MAGA serial killer, like someone that killed MAGA people. Maybe looks like Bundy, like super attractive and charming. Like, why not? Let's start solving these problems, people. I know it's awful. Sorry. Everything was such a big deal in the night. Like Princess Diana dying. Remember I had a shirt. Like, what the fuck? Like, why was I wearing a Princess Diana death shirt? Like, that was weird of me. And I remember my mom was so upset when JFK, like, I remember the plane was missing. She was like, I don't know. And then he died, and it was so sad. I want to watch that miniseries about it. Like, and like the sister was there, like, how awful for her parents. Like, what a time to be alive. I feel like we all remember where we were when people died in the 90s. Like, I remember when Phil Hartman died. I was in our neighbor's Angie's pool, and they announced it, and it was like, oh. Like I said, I think it's just tough because now everything is so spread out, and we're all hearing from different places, and we don't know who's accurate. Not that these things were accurate. Now that I'm an adult, I realize there's a lot of fucking propaganda, but at least we all were believing the same propaganda, and we all kind of felt like one, rather than now when it's so split. Chris Farley died. Like, that was such a fucking bummer. John Candy. These were great, funny guys, and it was just so sad. And it seems like so long ago now, too. I mean, back then, like, I had to take a typing class. Like, they would cover our hands with cardboard, and we had to, like, learn the keyboard. Like, they don't do anything like this anymore. What are they learning in school? And also, like, that was a waste of my time. I wish that they had, like, taught me better life skills than how to type, not looking at the keyboard. Like, that's really holding me back in life, guys. I remember when we had subs, I would fucking move that thing and bust through those tests so I could play Oregon Trail. Who didn't love Oregon Trail? I remember we thought we were so funny because, when you die, you have a tombstone. And they're like, what do you want to put on your tombstone? And there were these tombstone pizza commercials back then that said, like, it's like people dying. And they're like, what do you want on your tombstone? And they're like, pepperoni and cheese. So that's what we would put on all the tombstone was pepperoni and cheese. And then we'd all like laugh to ourselves about how funny we were. Like, oh, it's like the commercial. Because back then commercials were, people watched the Super Bowl for commercials. They still do now, but I feel like now you get them on the internet and stuff. Like this was, you like fucking sat down. Same as like, I was from Chicago. So I remember when the like Bulls won, we were all watching the game and it was such a big deal. And there were so many like, baseball movies. Like, what was that one where the kid like broke his arm and then was a pitcher for the Cubs? Like, how fucking weird was that? Like, and then Y2K, to be really, really honest, Y2K freaked me the fuck out. And I was like convinced the world was going to end. And I was like trying to come to terms with it. My family didn't like prep or anything, but I was like, this is it. And then it was like nothing. I don't think any of us really wanted anything to happen, but it was kind of disappointing that absolutely nothing happened. Like it was such a big thing. Like we don't have anything like that anymore. Like this phantom thing to be scared of. 90s fashion. Love me some 90s fashion. Like people getting their fucking belly buttons pierced. Like they still do it, but like that is a 90s thing. And the tramp stamp, I felt it was so huge. So huge in the 90s. Little tramp stamp. Love it. And I loved, I'm wearing a vest, much like I used to wear with my friend Shauna. We thought we were cool. So I'd wear a training bra with a vest open and shorts. And she had overalls and a sports bra. And I remember the one overall was like undone. Like that was sexy. We were like 10. I don't know. It was really weird. And then I wore these, that was one leg was yellow and one leg was blue, bike shorts to school. And David Sherwood came out. My mom was picking me up. And on my children's life, this story absolutely happened. It's burned in my memory. But he walked out with me and he goes, oh, Mrs. Peterson, your daughter has the smoothest ass in second grade. David Sherwood told my mother I had the smoothest ass in the second grade. And after that, I was no longer allowed to wear bike shorts ever. I started wearing them again as an adult. I feel like I'm taking them back. But David Sherwood, wherever you are, I bet you'd really enjoy my ass now. I've been working on it. So call me. And like malls, those like started really in the 80s, but 90s was like you fucking hung out at the mall. Like that was what you did. Like you wanted to get a job at the mall. Some people worked at the food court, but the good people worked at like the clothing stores and like Anchor Blue and American Eagle. And they kind of say like we didn't really have fast fashion back then, but there was this store called Red Eye at Super System Springs Mall here in Mesa, Arizona. That was definitely fast fashion. I really enjoyed it, but that was like cheap shit. I don't even know when fucking Forever 21 came out. No, I think about it, but I'm not a big Forever 21 fan. I was, however, an Abercrombie girl. I loved Abercrombie from the age of 15 until 37. Like it was, I would say that store was my happy place. There was one on Mill Avenue, and I remember I would go before every date and buy a new outfit, like pants, shirt. My favorite was like this like thermal kind of over with buttons that were really low, and then like a tank top with lace on it, and then the low rise jeans. And I was a 00. And I remember they changed their sizing and I was no longer a 00. And I had a little bit of a meltdown with the girl that worked there. I was like, I have always been a 00. Why is this? And she goes, oh, they're cutting them smaller now. Or maybe she just told me that to make myself feel better. Maybe I was putting on weight. But nothing beat a pair of Abercrombie jeans for me for the longest. And maybe I would still love it. It just, when I started working for the boutique, that was the only place I was shopping. And now, like, we went in Vegas to an Abercrombie, and it just feels very young, like too young for me. And I'm sure there's some great basics and stuff, like, but I evolved. But with the song, They like girls who wear Abercrombie and Fitch. Like that to me was money. Because I would babysit and my mom would buy me clothes, but she wouldn't buy me the name brand clothes. So I would babysit so I could buy Abercrombie because I was going to be that girl come hell or high water. And I rocked those jeans. Those low rise, like I looked good. I remember one of my favorite outfit was this white polo shirt, tight, short, pop collar, low rise, like blue rinsed jeans with some white. I had these white platform J. Crew flip-flops. I was hot shit at ASU. Let me tell you. If they like girls that liked Abercrombie and Fitch, they liked me. I had the little mini skirt. I didn't have Uggs because I didn't come from money and I didn't think to buy a pair myself. Now I have lots of Uggs because I am still 18 years old in my head and 18-year-old Sarah wanted Uggs. So 18-year-old Sarah got Uggs. Little Sarah in the 90s, though, loved Nike. Like I would get a new pair of Nike shoes every year. And it was a big deal, like back to school shopping at the mall. And then there was Delia's. Do you guys remember Delia's? The OG online shopping. Like you'd have the catalog. And I would always like pull out outfits I liked that I was never going to buy. Like my whole room would be covered in fashion. Like that was really, I always loved clothes. I also wore overalls, which was a choice. I don't know that I'd wear overalls now, but hey, I did the best I could. And limited two, guys. That was the shit. Do you remember that? I ended up working at the limited two. Like I felt like I fucking made it. And actually, here's a little limited two history. So limited two owned by the limited brands and this and that. Then they were themselves. So when we were just limited two, then they opened Justice. Justice was supposed to be like our Old Navy. So how Gap had Old Navy that was like cheaper, that was supposed to be Justice. Then limited two like went away and it was just Justice. And I didn't really understand that. And then they tried like to make a men's one. That didn't work. Now I see that they're back to limited two at Kohl's. I went to do an Amazon return and they had limited two stuff at Kohl's. I was like, Jesus Christ. I feel old as fuck. I remember my mom found me a bunch of limited two shorts at a garage sale one time. And I was so happy. I loved a good garage sale find back then. Like I said, didn't come from money. Don't know why you're so ashamed, Mom. Like, we did all right. So I also loved I feel like I said, the 60s were kind of big back, like coming, you know what I mean? Like bell bottoms and that stuff. And I remember seeing Courtney Love wear leather pants and I wanted leather pants and I really wanted a leather jacket, like a motorcycle leather jacket. I just thought that was so cool. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Loved it. Anytime they did a makeover scene or like a fashion montage in a movie, like that was my favorite. I should have known that was just where I was going. Cinderella was my favorite because I liked when they made the dress for her. That was my favorite part of the movie. So I was just always meant to be a fashionista, even though I would wear bike shorts. But I actually think my little brothers, I don't know. David Sherwood, you would probably remember better than I did. Food. Food in the 90s. Fast food was so much better in the 90s. It was cheaper. Like, remember Taco Bell? So cheap. Now it's like everything is just so bad. Like, there's this TikTok lady. Sorry, I don't know your name. I should give you. Drew showed me where she shows the differences in food now. Like how things are so much worse, which I have developed a whey allergy because of what they're putting in our food. So like powdered whey, like protein powder. It's also in macaroni and cheese. Kraft macaroni and cheese, can never eat that again. That was my favorite as a little kid. It's in Doritos. It's in a lot of processed food. So they're just really putting some nasty shit in our food now. We know that it was starting. Like everything was fucking plastic back then. Like I get it. It wasn't as glorious as we're making it out to be. But it feels like things are just so much worse quality now. And it sucks. Nothing beat like eating some cereal in front of the TV watching cartoons or the Capri Sun. I did not know that you could put the straw on the bottom. I saw that in a commercial recently and Drew thought I was crazy. I didn't know you could do that. That was really impressive. And also I feel like they kept doing like new Coke, Crystal Pepsi. Like they kept trying new things back then. And now everything is rehashed bullshit where it's like classic. And back to like, because things were better then. Like we thought the grass was greener, almost like the new stuff. And now we're like, no, we know the grass is not greener. Grass is shittier. And I miss the good old days. But like Lunchables, they have lead in them or something, right? Like, and if you think about it, like, what kind of a lunch was the ones when you got like cracker? Like, what fucking charcuterie board bullshit were they sending us? Half of them didn't come with a drink. You had to bring your own drink. Then they had like a treat in them. Like, it really was like the lamest ass charcuterie board ever. Lunchables, and we all wanted them. Like, my brother was one of the weird ones. I was always a basic bitch and proud of it. And I feel like buffets were really big back in the day, like Ponderosa, Sizzler, like cheap all you could eat. Like, they were never great, but it passed muster. I mean, I remember one time in Ponderosa, my brother put a toothpick in my mom's drink and she like drank it up and like scared her. And I wish something happened, but he's still her favorite. All right, guys, on to my last topic on the 90s. I thought this would be a little bit longer, but I'm having a day. Movies. We did a movie episode recently, so I won't rehash all of those, but I feel like I didn't cover some things. Didn't talk about Twister, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. Came out, we saw it on the big screen, scared the shit out of me. Like, it gave me a fear of being sucked up into a tornado that I never had before. I still am a little scared someday I'll get sucked up in a tornado somehow. When that fucking dad went up, like, I was just done. And then but also, if you watch Twister, like, those fucking graphics hold up. Like, it was really impressive. Maybe the science wasn't totally accurate, but it looked amazing. I could watch Philip Seymour Hoffman all day. Rest in peace. My boy, Bill Paxton. So sad. Great movie. But I do remember being terrified that summer because the tornado siren kept going off. So every time I was like, it's an F5. Like, and we had to run out of our house to get into the basement. Like, it was a fucked up situation. Don't ask. And I remember one time I saw a funnel cloud coming down, and in my mind, I was like, this is it. This is the F5. I'm going to die. And I was like in the corner with like cobwebs, like crying. My mom wouldn't come down. I'm like, calm down. It's going to be an F5. Like, I watched disaster movies as a kid. That's what I wanted to, like, disaster movies. Fucking scared the shit out of me. I remember Deep Impact and Armageddon. And on those on those movies, I would always look where I lived at the time. So I would be like, okay, I was in Illinois and the wave that washed away the East Coast wouldn't have made it there. And then this was the 2000s, but Day After Tomorrow, the ice, I lived in Arizona and the ice didn't go down to Arizona. So I was like, I would live it. Like, that's disaster movies I always like to see if I would live, even though I would probably be the bitch that was killed in the beginning. Like, in the group scene, we're all running and something comes down on me. But I like to think that disaster, it just freaks me out. I don't want to be in that situation. It gives me anxiety even thinking about it. Like, the 2012, wasn't that the fucking, like, they still do disaster movies, and they scare me. I don't know if I have what it takes to make it, but nothing beat a good 90s rom-com. I really got my idea of what love should be from those, which was not a good idea because, like, think about rom-coms. They like meet someone, like they don't get along or whatever. If you like logistically look at how much time these people spend together before they're like, you're the one and I'm going to marry you. Like, it was never much. That was horrible. That's why When Harry Met Sally is my favorite, because my husband and I met when we were 15. We dated when we were 18, got back together when we were 24. So that was like tried and true and absolutely not anything like the rom-coms that I grew up watching, thinking that that would be it. I did marry somebody I barely knew, rom-com style, and it was a disaster. So thanks, 90s, for giving me a total shit fucked up view on love. Like First Wives Club. Like I said, I miss when Donald Trump was like, everybody thought he's a piece of shit. He left Ivanka. Didn't he cheat on her with Marla Maples? And like, they made fun of how he lost a bunch of money in the divorce when she's like, don't get mad, get everything. Like, it's a great time. First Wives Club was a really great movie. And I bet that would depress the hell out of me if I did the math to see how like if I'm that age yet. Like, am I First Wives Club age? Am I Bette Midler? Young Sarah. And also, it's so funny to watch it now because, like, the young chicks in it are like Elizabeth Berkley, Sarah Jessica Parker, Marcia Gay Harden, like older women now, like that are even older than I think Goldie Hawn, Bette, and Diane were back then. But I just like that. There was such a rhetoric around that. And I don't know if there is now, but it was very much in the 80s and 90s, like the working woman and like independence and men leading you and like think about waiting to exhale, like fucking Angela Bassett's fucking badass burning his shit. Like, don't ever fuck with. She should be our fucking president. Angela Bassett could fix this world. I genuinely believe that. She could absolutely fix this country. Give her a shot. You wouldn't give me Kamala, give me Angela Bassett. Yeah, it was like piece of shit, man, cheating, like something like there was, I guess they still do, but it just seems so prevalent. And now like all this trad wife bullshit coming back. I'm like, did you not watch the 90s movies? They cheat. They cheat, they leave you for a younger woman. You have to fight for your money. You have to blackmail them. Watch the First Wives Club. Change your life. I would love to see a remake of First Wives Club. I know they did one, but I would love to see like Kate Hudson play Goldie Hawn. I think like Anne Hathaway. I don't know who would play Bette Midler's part, but we get on this. Like we're just remaking shit. Like that's all everything is now. It's just going back to the well of the 90s. That's what I feel like the crux is. Like you don't know what you have till it's gone. We didn't know how good we had it in the 90s until now. That's why we're just reinventing stuff. Like I said, everything was new Pepsi. And now it's like, there's no new ideas. We don't want that. We want safe. Which is, they should bring movie stores back. Like, remember how comforting a movie store was? Like, Friday night, you're going out with your friends to Blockbuster, and you're hoping, like, the new release is still there. And sometimes they'd have, like, 5 copies, and they'd all be gone. You're like, fuck. And, like, I feel like that's when you would go and, like, look in the horror section and pick up some horrible D-list horror movie that just sticks with you. Like, I loved the movie store. You could buy movie posters. I remember the one in town, we had a dirty section. The Video Villa had a naughty movie section. Like, how dirty was that porn? That's what I want to know. Like, if I like pull those movies out, like compare that to what they have now. I don't watch porn, but like I want to see how much dirtier it got. I bet it got really dirty. Like the Cinemax and stuff. Like, oh, the 90s. Well, I think that's all that I have to say for the 90s, although I'm sure overnight I will think about this and think about a million things from the 90s that I could talk about. But I'm a little tired and we're like at the 1 hour mark and there's plenty for Sam to cut because I kept fucking up. But let's keep that nostalgia alive, guys. 90s was a great time. And don't forget, make today your bitch.